Okay, so that really wasn't that difficult. I did have to go on a cross draw though. So I was just having this thought about putting up these lasers and some snap pops, you know, things that you pull on the end, you tie a string to it and you put it on a door and it goes pop. But putting the lasers up high and then telling people like, yeah, I better be smoking if you come in, that way you know when to duck. Right? But then the pop caps would be at their foot level, and so they'd all be looking up on purpose. Everyone that knew to come back here would be looking up on purpose and smoking. So they could see the lasers. You don't actually have lasers out there as well. And then if someone thinks they're going to duck underneath them, then haha, they're still going to walk through the snap cap, which should sufficiently scare them. But then if I ever get to be out here and or make a video and show it to a couple of them, and so it would show the people getting smoking as they came in, right? And then it would show the laser showing up inside the smoke, so they knew to duck right there. And then so they still have to go on. But so I don't show them the other part about if they think they're going to walk through ducking, then they're going to get the snap caps. But then have one of them still be a snap cap, like he didn't duck low enough. So watch him duck lower after that. And on that one, never mind. It's a progressive alienation thing where I would make it more and more difficult, like a dungeon master against adventurers, the traps, and the consequences of the traps. But then I would point out at the end of the video, which is the basic version of this thing, that because they were smoking, it was like I had a red dot on them, you know? And so they were getting tracked from the get-go, you know, and then showing their own video. And they'd be all like, whoa, he totally tracked me, man, you know? Duh. But they would totally believe that stuff. And the reason that's brought up because I think the signs on the bridge should say, smile, you've been on camera. See, that way it's not lying. Because at some particular point in their life, they've been on camera. You know, it's kind of an anarchy twist to it. But that way it's not lying. But you're on camera is lying because there is no camera there. Unless there's a camera in the pump house. If there's a camera in the pump house, then you put up some two-way glass on their windows so that people can't see in and see the camera, because they'll just bust that stuff wide open and take it. You know, the size of the window on that is 20 inches by 20 inches. That's the same size El Chapo escaped in. You know, wiggle free. I love how they're all like, he tunneled out. I was like, you didn't tunnel out. But yeah, they're good at digging gold out of them there hills too. Oh, it lays on the ground here. It's worthless. The gods like to have it, you know. They like to just pick it up occasionally. Hey, I don't want to interact with those infidels. You go mine it in there. We'll just pick it up from where it lays around. And if you don't leave it laying around, we'll come and take it off your bodies. That's a pretty good threat right there. Oh, I wrote down a thing for lighting the Zippo. But it's dead right now, so I'm going to use this. So you come up with your little trick. But as opposed to shielding it with your hand around over here, your hand, this hand, right here, shake, shake, the camera turns on. And, but so this hand drops in to the pouch on a hoodie, and the pouch on the hoodie is bulky because there's stuff in it. But it's been purposefully bulked with like a stiff coolant. Like a survival blanket, right? How they're silver. One like maybe 2 or 3, goodness, folded up. Wonder if you get one of those like quilted. But anyway, because I think they're really, really kind of too thin for this. But I think if you put 2 together and arced them, and then on the packaging for the outer one, you had sewn magnets, and then in the hoodie pouch, it would have a peel apart. It would have a peel off, in which you would have all your memory cards, your SD cards. And because in the future, your SD card is going to come full, and it'll have like 1 file per gigabyte. Okay, but that file will be filled with some corporation's content, but it'll be in 1 file. But then to erase that 1 file so you can access the memory that's in there, you have to watch their commercial, like for 20 minutes. But they have whatever, like 3 hours of content if you want to watch their corporate content. And I'm quite sure that some of it would be quite entertaining and fabulous. It'd be a hit or miss on what you got, on who you bought your SD card from. But then you would free up that gig. So if you had an 8 gig card, you'd have to, so not 20 minutes, but maybe like, 7-8 minute commercial, 7.5 minute commercial. People will settle down for that easy. And then they can erase it. So it's contingent upon that. So then that frees that up. That would be, I think, a brilliant way to sell SD cards, because then they're free. But they're not free. You know what I mean? Because the ones that are free of data cost money. So some Christians get together and they determine that what they're going to do is, because the computer monitor has a sensor to see if you're in the room, right? It has a motion sensor on it to see if you're in the room so that you can actually hear it. And also that is connected to your volume level. And so they can tell, like, if you're watching a different video, but you have that one on the computer as well. It would also determine if it was on your bouncy bug. Main screen. Total bouncy bug. Bounce, bounce, bounce. It's like a wasp. But it's like a skeeter eater. I think that's what they're called. Skeeter eater. So they're beneficial. It's really nice to know what flutters around you. I guess most nefarious insects buzz, and non-nefarious insects don't buzz. So, what the Christians have done is they have put wax in their microphone on their laptop so that everything that comes out of it is muffled. Or everything that goes into it is muffled. And that way you dedicate yourself to praying above the level of the corporation. And you learn to close your eyes and pray at the same time. Maybe even bob back and forth. That's called davening or davening. You bob back and forth in prayer. Do you remember ever doing that? Do you remember ever sitting in a pew, bobbing back and forth, praying your heart out? Do you remember that? Do it now.